Hi everyone, welcome to Umberta. My name is Preeti and I'm a professional astrologer and counselor. This YouTube channel will be devoted to the esoteric or occult sciences, and I plan to publish a video on astrological transits every month. If you find my content meaningful, please do like, share and subscribe so that you don't miss any updates from me. Let's look at the transits for the next 4 weeks. Sun will be in tropical Aquarius until 19th of February, then will transit to Pisces. Mercury will be in tropical Aquarius until 23rd of February and then will transit to Pisces. Venus is in tropical Capricorn until 16th of February and then will transit to Aquarius. Mars is in tropical Capricorn until 13th of February and will transit to Aquarius. The Mars and Pluto conjunction in Aquarius, the intense effects are from 14th of February to 4th of March. Saturn will combust from 20th February to 20th of March, but the intensity will peak in the last week of February. Jupiter continues to transit in tropical Taurus. Saturn continues to transit in tropical Pisces. The North Node is transiting in tropical Aries. South Node is transiting in tropical Libra. Full moon in Virgo on the 24th of February. Let's look at the month ahead for tropical Aries risings or sidereal Pisces risings. Your chart ruler is in your 11th, giving you the extra energy and push necessary to achieve those goals that have been brewing in the background for a long time. You may be very focused on your professional life this month, so just watch out for burning out on working too hard. As Venus joins Mars this month, those of you seeking a romantic connection may find your person when you're attending conferences, seminars, work-related gatherings, meetings. Some of you may see results of your hard work in your professional life, and it may lead to an increase in your income or a raise. Some of you may travel abroad for work. However, this could be for a short period of time, and it would be a productive trip. You may continue to feel isolated or work in isolation this year. Maybe you're working on a long-term project, which is a secret project, or you're in stealth mode. Your friend circle may also dwindle down due to your professional life taking priority over your social life, or you consciously decide to focus on your long-term goals. You may need to budget more carefully and watch your desire to spend on luxury items or frequent vacations. If you're very active online on forums or engage in political discourse, chances are you'll participate in arguments or fights online or in your network circles after mid-Feb. Remember, you're supercharged this month, so you need to be careful not to engage in any kind of online bullying, which could come to haunt you sometime in the future. You may also need to make sure you get enough sleep, rest towards the end of this month, or you may find yourself feeling foggy or mentally exhausted from overworking. The Mars-PLUTO conjunction is a favorable one for you, folks, as long as you focus on what truly matters to you, rather than get pulled into large-scale causes that may not have any impact on your personal life. The next 4 weeks are an excellent period to create or modify your long-term goals and desires. If you're working in a large organization, this would be a favorable month to seek a raise or a promotion. This is also a favorable month to go out and mingle professionally. Attend those seminars, webinars, meetings, show up and make yourself visible. But there's a word of caution. If you're very active on online forums or engage in political discourse, chances are you'll participate in arguments or fights online or in your network circles. Remember, you need to be careful not to engage in any kind of online bullying. Focus on what truly matters and you will reap the reward. Try to curb your spending. It could happen that many of these gatherings, conferences have a fee requirement, in which case be selective where you choose to attend and be seen. Go where you'll get the most bang for your buck. What does Saturn combustion mean for you? It could mean that you're very stressed or unsure about your long-term goals and desires. You may lose touch with your friends' network or circle. You may choose to be reclusive and prefer to stay behind the scenes. It could also mean your mental health is affected. You may have to fight feelings of despondency and fatalism. You may also feel sluggish, slow, and lethargic. Do note that all of these emotions and feelings are temporary. The Sun-Saturn conjunction takes place every year, so you've been through this before and you will experience this annually. So this too shall pass. Let's look at tropical Taurus or sidereal Aries. Your ascendant Lord Venus is in your 9th house, fueling your desire to travel and explore. Some of you may decide to scratch those itchy feet and take a break and travel internationally. Others of you may have to travel for work rather than pleasure. However, this trip is likely to be productive and give you much needed recognition in your professional life. Some of you may have found your network circles shrink, or you may have lost touch with a lot of friends over this past year. This could have been intentional, or it could be related to a relocation. Whoever is left in your network right now is supportive of your long-term goals. Your star quotient is rising higher, and as long as you keep to the straight and narrow path like Saturn expects you to, you will reap your rewards by 2025. However, this could mean that you really need to focus on the here and now and check all the boxes that need checking. You may be occupied with to-do lists, documentation, legalities, paperwork of all sorts. Some of you may find that your goals are taking too long to shape up, or that plans are getting delayed or obstructed. But it's just a matter of time before it all comes together. Stay patient and hopeful. Some of you may have had a lot of ups and downs this past year in your personal romantic life. You could have experienced a divorce or a loss in income or health issues flaring up suddenly. This turbulence will eventually settle down mid-year, although the changes you have experienced thus far may be permanent. There could be irreversible changes in your professional life too. Some of these changes could be in your favor, and as far as possible, avoid confrontations with colleagues and co-workers. There could be undercurrents of manipulation and aggression at work which could emerge suddenly. Just be alert and stay out of things that aren't your business. Just take the attitude of not your circus, not your monkey. Some of you who are traveling abroad may have to take care that you don't fall ill. The illness could be temporary, so nothing too concerning about that. The Mars-Pluto conjunction may be a little challenging for you, especially in your professional life. There could be power plays, undercurrents of political strife, and unseen hidden dangers. You may feel stuck, or you may feel as if an unknown enemy is working against you. Keep your cool head and turn on your Venusian charm, as Jupiter transiting your first house brings opportunities to you. Stay extremely diplomatic in all the chaos and the ugliness. Take a balanced, approachable, accessible, be balanced, approachable, accessible, and likable. How does combust Saturn look for you? You might face ego clashes with your bosses, teachers, or authority figures in the coming 4 weeks or so. So it would be advisable to keep a low profile and be as diplomatic as possible. You may also feel an insecurity about your job, or may have to face disappointment at work. Maybe the project you've been working on fell apart, or your team received credit for something you accomplished. This is not a favorable time to address injustices, as you may face a backlash. So reflect on this experience, learn from it, and move on. Others of you may experience a bit of misfortune or bad luck in your network circles. Some of you may lose a friend from your friend circle who has been keeping poor health. Do note that all of the emotions and feelings from this conjunction are temporary. You've been through this before and will experience this combustion of Saturn annually. So this too shall pass. Gemini, sidereal Taurus. Your thoughts and efforts could be aligned towards humanitarian causes this month, which impact your community in some way. These community projects or initiatives could have very long-term positive impact on your image in society and your networks. Those of you thinking of taking a vacation should do so now, because as February progresses, work and responsibilities may overtake your mind space. Your daily life could be busy with work, leaving little time for romance. As Venus, Mars are both in the grip of Saturn, duties and responsibilities take precedence over pleasure. Your usual levity, cheerfulness may also be a little dampened this month as you face the reality of your long-term projects. You may have to decide where you want to invest your time and effort for the greatest returns instead of scattering your attention everywhere. As Jupiter is moving through your 12th house, you may find divine guidance and help when you need it the most. Those of you who are married may have experienced a distance between you and your partner this past year. This could be due to a literal distance where you and your spouse reside or work in different cities, or it could be an emotional distance. But this will change soon once Jupiter enters your first house. For those of you seeking romantic partnerships, be open to chance encounters later on this year. How does a Mars-Pluto conjunction work for you? You may benefit from overseas travel the next 4 to 5 weeks, especially if it's for work. However, do be cautious during this trip and take adequate precautions for respiratory illnesses. There could be sudden mishaps during travel, like missed flights or random delays. Those of you who are students may find themselves adulting in the real world, where there are new jobs, new friends, new networks. Combust Saturn. Some of you who have secrets that you wish were kept hidden are going to see the light of day. This may cause a great deal of worry and concern. However, it's not as bad as you think it is, and eventually you may experience only a small setback. It would be advisable to keep a low profile, stay under the radar, and turn on your Venusian charm. If you have a robust, supportive network and people who trust you, then this transit would not impact you as negatively as someone who has poor relationships at work. The next few months are not favorable to undertake buying or selling of property. Home environment could also be depressing, or relations with family members could be distant and draining. Do note that all of the emotions and feelings from this conjunction are temporary. You've been through this before and will experience this annually. So this too shall pass. Tropical Cancer, Sidereal Gemini. This is a favorable period for those working in a secret project. Research development, psychology, banking, etc. Those breakthroughs you've been working towards and waiting for may happen. This could be connected to money or resources, like scholarships, bonus, grants, etc. Your efforts may be recognized by higher-ups. For others of you, if you're a student, there could be ups and downs in your learning. Those of you who are neither students nor in stealth mode, you may find your larger friend circle or network going through some changes. Some of them will drift away, physically relocate, or experience their own life changes that affect the larger network. The Mars-Pluto conjunction may be an uncomfortable period, to say the least, because these are two malefics who are entering the 8th house. Your dreams and fears may become so heightened that you feel you're in fight or flight mode all the time. Your mind could be preoccupied with death and dying. Vague fears and anxieties may emerge. One way to channel this intense energy is to refocus your mind on real-world, tangible things. Surround or immerse yourself in play or dance or music. This is a favorable month to start your indoor garden, or to finally get a pet, or to volunteer your time at an animal shelter. Take your mind off of doom and gloom by changing your daily routine. Combust Saturn. This combustion may affect the demographic of students more than adults. Those of you who are students in any capacity, even at a doctorate level, may find that your efforts aren't getting the results that you wish for. You may feel like you aren't succeeding academically. You may feel unfortunate, or may feel like your teachers or supervisors are too harsh and demanding. You may also feel like you're not being recognized for your efforts. Your personal values may assert themselves more than the collective values, or the should do or shouldn't do. You may feel rebellious and compelled to lock horns with authority figures. A relationship with father or father figures may be a little rocky until the conjunction passes. Do note that all of the emotions and feelings from this conjunction are temporary. You've been through this before and will experience this annually, so this too shall pass. Leo or sidereal Cancer. With most of your inner planets transiting your relationship houses, your attention and energy is focused on others. You may feel a certain restriction or scarcity with regards to your resources, joint or personal. I'm using the words resources loosely. It could mean a restriction in income or lack of support from family or generally non-supportive relationships. Jupiter transiting your 10th house will continue bringing in opportunities in your professional life. However, not all of these opportunities will lead to tangible outcomes. So use your powerful intuition to discern where you want to invest your emotional energy for the long term. Some of you may be pursuing higher education or certifications this year, but there could be confusion with regards to the long-term potential of this path. You may not know at present exactly where the destination is or where your efforts will lead, or where to even direct your efforts. Keep on going though, and you will eventually find your way. There could be ups and downs in your career, most probably related to resources, yours and other people's. Some of your plans may be held up for reasons beyond your control. For example, you may have applied for a job which is now on hold, or you're waiting for funds to come through for a project. These sort of issues beyond your control may affect your long-term plans and career prospects. The Mars-Pluto conjunction is a very powerful period for you, where interpersonal connections come to the forefront. Used positively, this is a time when you could really cement down that partnership deal or the collaboration you were seeking. If this isn't work-focused, romance will be slightly challenging. You may meet interesting people suddenly out of the blue. They could be foreigners, they could be locals, but they could disappear just as quickly from your life as they entered. So be cautious before you jump into anything deep. Those of you who wish to relocate may find things moving suddenly, so begin mentally and emotionally preparing for the move. Combust Saturn, you may experience insecurity or a sense that you don't have enough resources during the next few months. This could be a reflection of actual reality or just fears, because Saturn combust is correlated with fatalism and pessimism. Resources could mean either you feel you have insufficient time to do all that you need to accomplish, or you are possibly living on a restricted budget that limits your life to the point of drudgery, or that you feel you don't have adequate support from your spouse for your goals, or your health may get affected, which also affects your plans. Do note that all of these emotions and feelings from the conjunction are temporary. You've been through this before and will experience this annually. So this too shall pass. Tropical Virgo or sidereal Leo. With Saturn transiting your 7th house, some of you might find yourself in conflict with authority figures, or may have to face criticism for past actions in your interpersonal relationships. Those of you who are students or engaged in higher education may find your one-to-one connections are cold, restricted, and rocky, or that your teachers are unusually demanding, stern, and frustrating. However, Saturn will help you filter out all relationships that seem unnecessary and focus only on what is truly needed for your future growth. As your sidereal rising Lord Sun joins Saturn in your 7th house, there could be a reality check of sorts in your connections. Are you in denial about your interpersonal relationships? While a self-audit may be absolutely necessary this month and part of March, be careful that you don't allow your ego or sense of righteousness overwhelm others. In the same vein, be careful of ego clashes with your spouse. This month, your attention and energy and time should be focused on health matters. Some of you may find expenses related to your health or your spouse's health rise this year, and there could be ups and downs with income, in the sense that there could be months where you manage to save a lot and other months where expenses outstrip savings. This is a favorable month for home renovations or addressing documentations related to property or health, or just going for your annual health visit. Regarding the Mars and Pluto conjunction, the next 4 to 5 weeks are pretty much routine for you. However, this is not the sort of routine where nothing happens. It's the sort of routine where you're extremely focused on daily goals and tasks. This energy and single-mindedness will have a ripple effect on other aspects of your life. Mind your health from this moment on, as long as Mars is transiting your 6th, and stay away from acidic or spicy foods. At the same time, stay away from antagonistic or annoying people who tend to provoke or trigger you into arguments. Pluto transiting the 6th also indicates a sort of red alert on health, as this transit is often connected to ignored health problems suddenly becoming acute and severe. So my suggestion is to address every health issue as it emerges immediately. Combust Saturn. You or your spouse may experience health issues this month and resultant ripple effects from these issues. It could be that one of you falls sick and may have to care for the other, or you may have to have discussions with your spouse to ensure that each of you is working towards a common couple goal and not against each other. Those of you with children may feel distant from them, literally because they move far away from you, or you worry for their health if they reside far away from you. Sometime during this combustion, you may realize that your dreams or desires could be unrealistic. These dreams could be with regards to a romantic connection that did not quite materialize, or other disappointment in love matters. Do note that all of these emotions and feelings from the combustion are temporary. You've been through this before and will experience this annually. So this too shall pass. Tropical Libra or Sidereal Virgo. As Ketu or the South Node transits your first house, you may need to sleep more and may feel drained in company. The closer Ketu gets to your ascendant, the more drained and exhausted you may feel just by living and breathing. So go easy on yourself on days when you feel like all you want to do is crawl into bed and sleep. It's a temporary transit, and this exhaustion or fatigue will eventually pass. You may also see your interpersonal relationships go through some turbulence, and some of this turbulence may lead to turmoil in your home. Those of you who are in long-term relationships may find commitment is taken to the next level in some way. You may choose to move in with your partner, or may have already moved in together sometime in the past 6 months. Or you may choose to commit to marriage in the next 5 to 6 weeks. Those of you who are already married or in a committed long-term relationship may choose to have children, and this year would be a favorable period for you to do so, all things considered. Others of you might be new parents and experiencing all the chaos that comes with being new parents, which includes lack of sleep, being overwhelmed on a daily basis, and a sense of being run down. Be mindful of your words during the next 5 weeks, as there could be flared tempers and arguments at home. Saturn is transiting your 6th house and demanding that you are disciplined and cautious in your everyday life. Sometimes this could indicate that the burden of running the home on a daily basis falls on you in some way, or the larger share of work falls on your shoulders. You may feel overworked this year and part of next. I would also encourage you to be vigilant about your health and address any health concerns, however minor they may seem. The Mars-Pluto conjunction is an interesting 4-week transit for you. Some of you seeking romance may find it, and it could be all-consuming and heady. However, it's also likely that you may spend extravagantly in pursuit of this love. Whatever you do, wait and watch rather than going all in and investing all your time, energy, and effort into one person or relationship. Others of you may be new parents, and as was mentioned earlier, you may be consumed by the trials and tribulations of being new parents. Keep a cool head, which is easier said than done. Avoid power struggles for a while, like who will wake up to feed the baby or who will put the baby to sleep. These trivial matters are a spark that could become a wildfire. So be patient, and eventually this intense period will pass. The Saturn the combustion of Saturn indicates that health is a priority. For those who have children, your children may fall sick with seasonal illnesses. So there's that. For others of you, there could be tension, conflict with your mother or between family members, especially older siblings, that affects you pretty deeply. This may stress you emotionally or cause digestive upsets. Daily routine may seem challenging to get through, and you may struggle with random mysterious aches and pains during this transit. However, do note that all of the emotions and feelings from this combustion are temporary. You've been through this before and will experience this annually, so this too shall pass.